What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down Brandon Aiiyuk and his route running ability, guys. This video was honestly, a lot of people were requesting this. I hadn't seen too much film on this guy until now, so I'm excited to break him down. And guys, please leave in the comments who you would like to see me break down next. I'm taking really any new requests that I haven't done before, so I'll make sure to get back to you. I'm looking forward to what you guys say. So first things first, we're going to talk about this kind of whip route right here. So let's watch it full speed, then we'll break it down. So he does a good job of attacking leverage, bursting inside, then dropping his hips and accelerating off this break, okay? So now, why wouldn't he just come off the line here, take one step, go, then break outside, right? Because we want to try to get an overreaction out of this DB. We immediately off the line want to get him on the defensive, right? So what he does here is he angles his stem inside, right? Angles it inside because if he's starting to slide inside, this DB is going to start sliding inside, right? So now I'm going to start attacking him and closing this gap and attacking that midline of the DB, right? So that's the whole goal of this. So when he starts attacking this midline here, what does it do to the DB? It starts getting him in a back pedal, right? So he's in a back pedal, his feet are moving, he's moving back. Now when I make this break to the slant, I got to make it believable to get an overreaction out of him, right? Because we're closing the gap. He's in a back pedal. Obviously, he's not going to have the best break on this, or as good of a break as he could have, as if he would have stood flat or if he would have stayed in the same spot, not backpedaling, but he really has no choice because of the way we angled our stem. So he's going to overreact and drive on this slant, right? So he makes this break here, stick, and then he breaks to the inside. Now, what does he do? Snaps his eyes, snaps his shoulders to the inside, right? So that's what causes this reaction off of the DB. So again, take it back to the start. Slide, attack the leverage, break to the inside. Now he's got to get in and out of this thing. So when I come off of this route here, I got to drop my hips, and I got to pivot my second step and drive off my third step to shoot me back. So you see how when he snaps here, he's dropping his hips with the outside leg, with his left leg, right? So he's dropping his hips, pivoting with the second step because that's what's starting to get his hips turned back around. And then that third step in the ground is pushing him out, pumping his arms and driving off of this break. That's a great job here, selling like he's running this slant route. Let's watch it again full speed one more time. So again, slide him a little bit, get his feet moving, attack that leverage, break up to the inside fast, sudden stick, snap your eyes, commit your shoulders, get an overreaction off this DB. Let's watch it full speed one more time. So slide, attack the leverage, get him to drop those hips in and out of this break as fast as possible. Okay, so again, now he's going to be at the bottom of the screen. This route, I'm pretty cool with it. I've heard a lot of people say this route I got off of Twitter, believe it or not. And the person analyzing this route was saying that this was a bad route, took a lot of false steps. So I want to just pretty much walk you guys through it. So let's watch it full speed. So coming off the line here, stick, and then he gets up to his depth. Now, I think this could have been a little bit more cleaner, I guess you could say, but we're going to really talk about it, right? Because he wants to get up to his depth of about 5 yards for the timing of the play, number one, right? So for you to say that, that's extra steps at the top of the route, right? He's got to get up to the depth of the play. He can't just come out of his break at 3 yards when he's supposed to be at 5, right? So he's got to burst up. They're like, he's taking too many steps at the top of the break. Well, he got his hips to turn, breaks this thing off, takes it back inside, gets up to his depth, and now he's got separation, right? So that's really all you can do when you got to get up to your depth for this play concept, right? Because a quarterback, you never know. He could be coming off a play action. We don't really know because we're not in the backfield. I highly doubt it's a play action, but you never really know. You got to get up to the depth of the route. That's why depth is important. They wouldn't have it. There wouldn't be no such thing as depth, or you just let everybody just go run and get open if timing didn't matter, right? So you got to make sure that I get up to the correct depth of the route. So comes off the line here, 3 hard steps to the outside. I want you to see 1, 2, 3 here. He's committing those shoulders and he's committing that eye, and he's being very sudden with this stick, right? So if he just comes here, break, and then gets flat right now, that's not going to be the correct timing of the play, right? This guy's breaking at 3, we're breaking at 5, right? Quarterback's probably reading, if I had to guess, this backer right here, if he's working this side of the play. I think he's working the opposite side of the play. But see, we already got his hips to turn, right? Got this DB's hips to turn. That's cool. Let's break it back underneath him. That's the whole goal of this. That's what they call this. They call it a diamond release, right? You take 3 steps to the outside and get this DB to open up his gate. Now, here's the thing with these 3 steps. Aiiyuk does a good job of it. You got to make it believable, and you got to run. What a lot of people do is they'll stay 1, 2, 3, and they'll probably gain like a yard, and they'll be real choppy. I got to be a vertical threat the second I come off this line of scrimmage, and I got to sell this thing with my eyes and my shoulders, because there comes a point in time where he eventually has to turn and run with you. He cannot shuffle for forever, else he's going to get left behind, right? So we get him to open up that gate, snap it underneath him, get up to my depth here. Could have been cleaner. I'm not saying this was a perfect route at the top right here, right? Could have been cleaner at this point. Kind of shatters his feet here, focuses on getting hands off of him. I would like him to just be off of this point. I would like him to break, drive to the inside, be fast up to his break, and then get even more separation. But he's a little bit hesitant with it. His arms kind of stop, and he pops his chest up here. That's what causes him to slow down and maybe not as much separation, right? But if we could get off of this point here, stick, and you see how he kind of reaches out with this stick here, brings his pad level up, he starts to lean back with his chest. If he would have stayed in a more explosive position and then actually drove up to his depth, I can see that, okay? But just he starts to pop up, he gets a little high, and his hands stop moving, which is what makes him slow. So there's some truth to it that those steps might not have been needed at the top of the route. I get where the guy was coming from on this, but the thing about it is you got to get up to your depth. You got to make sure the timing's correct on the play. So we just got to make sure it's a little bit cleaner, and I got to make sure I have a good pad level and I'm driving out. I'm not kind of hesitant and kind of soft stepping through this break. Okay, so let's watch it again one more time. I hope that gave you some insight on what that guy meant. I forget his name. I want his last name was like Kelly or something like that. But if we take 3 yard steps to the outside, get this DB to turn his hips, right? Put sudden stick, put the brakes on, right? Being very sudden with my feet, keeping it a good pad level, get up to my depth and burst up to the inside. I'm going to get more separation on this. So let's watch it again one more time. So 1, 2, 3, break ups inside. Just make it a little bit more explosive, and I think we'll be all right on this thing. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at this stutter go here. I think this is probably the route that jumps out the most to me on his tape or on the film that I've seen of him. So let's watch it full speed. So coming here, acting like he's snapping down. All we got to do is get a reaction off that DB and then accelerate upfield. Okay, so now he's coming up here selling like he's going to be running this curl route, right? Now, what I like here, and this might have been subconscious, like he might not have even realized he was doing this, but he starts to bring that chest up, right? He starts to slow himself down. That's a huge indicator to this DB. If this was a normal curl route, that DB is all over this damn thing. Now, again, I don't know if maybe he does this on all curls or if he does this just on this move to try to really draw this DB in. I'm hoping it's the second one, but this is something that you guys can do to really take advantage of it, right? Because you hear me talk, if you've been watching my videos a lot, about keeping a good pad level all the way throughout the route, dropping your hips and then going, not giving any indicator to this DB what you're going to do. Try to get him to do exactly what he's doing right now, turning those hips, snapping it off, and then we're out of this break, right? Now we got this underneath defender playing curl. So I don't even necessarily think that this DB should be jumping on this route as it is, right? Because we got this underneath defender. He's probably playing hook to curl area. So this DB probably should have stayed a little bit more disciplined, right? But again, he hesitates. He wants to jump this thing. I get it, okay? Definitely get it. But you see the huge indicator he gives with his chest. He starts to bring his chest up. That's what we don't want to do on a regular curl route. But on a stutter go concept, we're trying to sell this curl route here. 100%. I drop my hips. I'm in a low explosive position. He's watching my hips. So when he sees me drop my hips, that's what he's going to do. He's going to stop his feet and he's going to try to break on it, right? Everybody's going to be trying to jump this route. And then I got to make sure that I keep my head down. I get those hands off of me, right? I'm not afraid of contact. And now I'm looking back for this ball when I know I got him by 3 steps. Now on this catch here too, I wanted to focus on this. I want you to see his eyes, right? This is a question I'm getting asked a lot, especially while guys are inside. How can I improve my over-the-shoulder catching, right? You want to catch this thing with your eyes first. You want to be looking this ball all the way in. You want the football to be the only thing in your line of vision. You don't want to be seeing the sideline over here. You don't want to be seeing the defenders to the inside of the field and the ball's like halfway in your eyes. You want to see this football in your whole entire eye vision. Believe me, I know it sounds easy, but really that makes a huge difference. I know that made a huge difference for me catching-wise, but we just got to make sure that we look that thing all the way in, okay? So again, selling like I'm running a curl, maybe slow myself down, bring my pad level up. The indicator is DB that I'm going to break down. I drop my hips. He drives on it. Let's accelerate up, go from 0 to 100. Okay, so let's watch this thing again one more time. So break it down, drop those hips, get that DB to jump this thing, and then make sure I accelerate out. Great job here by Brandon. That's a really good route. Let's get to this next one after he scores. Okay, so now DB's inside leverage, right? So he's going to be attacking his leverage, pushing vertical, then breaking this thing off on a stop route, okay? So let's watch it full speed. So attack the leverage, burst upfield, snap this thing off. Great route here. Obviously, ball didn't get thrown to him again, but just a testament of that. He's got a lot of skills off the line. Personally, that's at least what I think. I think that he could run any route for you, and I think he's an intelligent route runner, right? That's something that you maybe don't see in a lot of college guys. I guess that they're not maybe the most I guess they don't have a high IQ of when to use certain routes, right? So now, DB's inside leverage. So why wouldn't he just run straight out to the outside and then snap this thing off and run the hitch, or run a stop route, excuse me? Because this DB's already inside leverage, and that's an easy break for him, right? I want to, again, attack his leverage, try to get him in a back pedal, try to get his feet working, push up vertical to try to get a reaction off of him, then break it off, right? So that's all I can do. So he comes off the line of scrimmage here, he's attacking his leverage. What does this DB do? Got two decisions to make. He can either keep his inside leverage or back pedal, right? Either or, I like that situation 100%. Now he decides to go in this back pedal but still keep a little bit of a leverage, right? So now when Ayuk pushes up vertical here, right, he attacks the stem. He goes here, squares up this DB. Now when he pushes vertical here, it's going to get a reaction off this DB because he's thinking, oh crap, I'm already inside leverage. I'm not trying to let him beat me over the top right now. I'm going to react and make sure I don't get beat over the top. So that's exactly what happens here. He pushes vertical, and then you see Ayuk just snaps this thing off. What foot is he snapping down with too? Snapping down with his left leg because he's trying to eliminate steps. He goes left, right, left. I know that's kind of difficult to see, but 3 steps at the top of the route. You could tell by what foot he's planning off of right now. That's his left foot. So he goes left, right, left, and that right leg is what gets his hips turned, and now his eyes are looking back for this ball. That's enough separation, especially at the next level, to make something happen, right? Because everything's going to get shorter, everything's going to get smaller, okay? It's a great, very intelligent route here. Let's watch it again one more time. So attack that leverage, push vertical, get a reaction, in and out of this break, 3 steps. Great route here by Ayuk. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, guys, if you want me to take a look at your film, if you want to be able to send in your route running film and have me break it down just like this, exactly like this, with audio and video breakdown footage, check out that link in the description that says film breakdown, and I'll see you guys next time.